Hi Sagittarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for October 2013. There's a lot of stuff going on inside of you at the moment, but it's a very good time for making connections, socializing, being with people, but sometimes you're not going to be in the mood because of this more introspective energy that's around. From Mercury. Mercury is working from quite deep levels, and you are more open on the one hand to subtler energies, more refined reactions to things, mentally feeling a bit at sixes and sevens perhaps, feeling that some things are a bit up in the air. Not quite knowing the best thing to do about this or that or the other thing. So the best you can do for yourself is to put yourself into environments that you can absorb with the whole of yourself, rather than just through your left brain, if you're right-handed, and right brain if you're left-handed. But imagination is working very well at this time. Intuition is working very well. Keeping an eye on the omens, picking up on the vibe, all of that's working very well. And you've got to trust more. You've got to trust that things are coming together in the way that you want. So you've just got to have faith with that. But on another side of you, the sun is in an area to do with friends, making new friends, old contacts, new contacts. More involvement within a group of people who share interests in common, kindred spirits. And it's quite a future-orientated phase as well, when you're getting to do things that maybe had to be shelved a long time ago. Now you're blowing the dust off that, and now you're being able to enjoy getting the ball rolling, or the ball is rolling on it. And that's the position of the sun up until the 23rd. Mercury and Venus, though, are in this background area. Venus is there only until the 8th. Mercury's there until the end of the month, or beyond the end of the month actually. Mercury's going to be there for quite a long time, all the way on into December. So you can really make the most of that by creating things from backstage, from in the wings, out of the public gaze, in this wonderful incubation area. It's a bit like a chrysalis where the butterfly is forming. Venus is there just up until the 8th, meaning that sometimes you won't be in the mood for socializing. I think probably you will be a lot more in the mood after the 8th. But in certain situations, you just want to be the observer, or you just want to connect from your center more, rather than having an agenda or a reason. It's almost like being absorbed, rather than being analytical, or being connections are going to be important, but there will be more to this, to do with the past maybe, or to do with your deeper self maybe. Maybe you've just got to take a step back, not really let on about your full feelings about this or that to others. You just kind of zoning out into your own sort of space. Imagination's working very well, though. Intuition's working very well with Venus here. And Venus has a knack at balancing things. So maybe in your inner self you're a bit at sixes and sevens, but then Venus's ability to balance will help you find your inner harmony, find your equilibrium, but understand that you must not try to push yourself out there and be all singing or dancing for others until after the 8th. And even after the 8th, there is a short period between the 8th and the 23rd when the sun also goes into the background area that Mercury is already in. And another way this can work is you and somebody have teamed up and you're going around in this little bubble with each other, or you're meeting up with others in this little enclosed, I say the castle walls. You're within the castle walls with these special people, and something is flourishing, something is growing there, and you're socializing within this close-knit environment. But it's definitely time to protect yourself, keep your boundaries stronger with both Mercury and Venus in this area here, because the world doesn't go away. You've still got to deal with the world out there. From the 8th, Venus then moves into your sign. Then you're going to be far more apt for socializing, for putting yourself out there and feeling more relaxed about that. Your relationships will probably get a boost there. There'll be more opportunities to mix and mingle and to enjoy that, and to come across yourself in a more attractive or welcoming, friendly kind of a way. Not that you wouldn't have been that before, but then that vibration of Venus wasn't kind of channeling through you as much as it will be from the 8th onwards. And you can be feeling a little bit self-indulgent. You want, you want to sort of cherry pick some little goodies for yourself, maybe, and you want to treat yourself perhaps to activities which, or you just want to, or just can boost morale or make you feel better. Things that are doing good to your body, good for you. Putting yourself in environments which are good for you. In fact, I would say the whole of the month would be a time to get into environments which you can just almost like sponge-like just absorb the vibration of the environments. And but when Venus comes into your sign, then that's a time when you can, there can be goodies in the pipeline coming your way, and you can feel better in your skin. Until the 15th, Mars is in an area, very much an information gathering area, thinking bigger, connecting with foreign lands, maybe some of you traveling, which is the Sagittarian thing, traveling in body or in mind or both. Just getting that bigger picture, seeing the bigger horizon, and grasping certain things that maybe you thought you knew about, but you didn't really. And some of you may be getting out and about more, and it's a good idea if you do, because this is a time for absolutely shaking off the cobwebs. So taking a trip or plunging into a very alien environment, an unfamiliar environment, we can learn something new. Is just absolutely the appropriate here, and some of your some more of your physical energy is going to be needed because you're pushing that envelope of daily life and getting right outside of the routine box and stretching yourself mentally, physically, and reaching out for those new horizons and fresh experiences. So this is the right moment to launch into anything like that, or launch into a new enterprise. And then from the 15th, Mars shifts and goes into a more target-orientated area, to do with the master plan maybe, or to do with your professional image. It's to do with achieving certain goals and ambitions, and these can be career-orientated or not. But this is the house of where do I go from here? And how am I going to do it? And connecting with people in positions of power, or having to have more to do with officials or red tape. But also, as I say, it's to do with the image. It's to do with how you're packaging something, yourself or something. But you might get a bit frustrated along the way with the powers that be, because wherever Mars goes, it likes to have its head. It rules the head. It likes to be out in front. It likes to initiate. It likes to decide on something and initiate and get going with it. when it's channeling through you. But when maybe your energies are a bit low for another historical reason, and the Mars energy in this area here maybe has you kind of playing catch up with it all the time, and you're trying to get up to speed with the master plan or with the bureaucracy or the people in the positions of power. So it's better in the previous period with so much energy going into this background area to do as much self-nurturing as you can. And for you early Saggies, Neptune is opposing your Sun, so that means this vagueness might be there, this indecisiveness might be there, and also you may be putting yourself out a little bit more. You may be playing the martyr, or if it's not the martyr and you're not playing, then you are genuinely there as a support, as a selfless support to somebody else. So brownie points in heaven for that. And that's for those of you born between the 23rd and the 25th of November, or 2 to 4 degrees rising. Also intuition working very well with this one. Interest more in maybe the occult side of things, the psychic side of things, healing energy as well, and also anything to do with the arts. But this energy does tend to bring out your compassionate side and anything connecting you in with charity type work as well. Okay, now I should have mentioned to you, Mars going across Neptune means more rest and relaxation is advisable just between the 18th and the 21st there. So you can be more susceptible to outside energies or to infections going around, or to allergic reactions, or to drug treatments, or just remedies, natural remedies. I mean, reacting. I'm not saying that this is a big one. I'm just saying that if you have these tendencies, to watch out for that. And also what somebody's saying, maybe, or what somebody's actions are, you're not absolutely certain. You've got a sort of suspicion about somebody or something. So it's best just to let things lie until after the 21st, which is more or less, well, in fact, it is exactly when Mercury goes retrograde. So Mercury goes retrograde from there, which indicates that you've got to trust that things are coming together. You've got to trust your gut, because it's almost as though you can't quite see it clearly enough to know. You just got to sense. And Mercury is also going over Saturn on the 8th and the 9th, so that's when you might have more on your mind. That's when things may weigh a little bit more heavily on you. That's where you've got to sort of work harder because of more paperwork, or it's something to do with more mental demand on you at that time there. And Jupiter, until next July, Jupiter is putting an emphasis on your joint financial area, which is a good thing. This is a nice place for Jupiter to be in your chart. So materially it can give your life a boost, and you can grow and expand through the contribution of key associations or within a partnership. So this can mean that more money or possessions are made available to you, a space, a venue, whatever it is, or that you find it easier to access through this key relationship or these key relationships. And it may be to do with a different financial strategy, a different financial setup between you, but also there can be useful resources. And also during this long transit, it can be that some kind of debt is repaid, whether that's from you or to you, and that might be a moral debt as well. But through the resources of others, whether it's simply their knowledge, your life will expand. And you Sagittarians born between the 9th to the 13th, 14th of December, or with 18 to 22 degrees rising, going to feel the energy of that this month the most. And in some ways the current position of Saturn is preparing you for when it comes into your sign in 2015, although it does pop in at the end of 2014. for the very couple of first degrees, you may be more aware of an invisible hands in the background supporting you, with Jupiter. Saturn here, and also at this time working harder to provide a support system for others. That might be one of the ways this works, and they tend to not have a clue, how much you are doing behind the scenes for them. But you could be doing a lot more inner work. In fact, you should be tying up loose ends from the past. You should be healing a long cycle from the past, and just saying, okay, that chapter's done, and turning slowly, reviewing things, and slowly turning the page on that and saying, okay, I've done that. Now for the next, it's for the next year of school, really. The position of Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter until next July will help you to do this. Take stock, tie up loose ends, gradually complete and heal from the previous long cycle, because you will be building new foundations from the roots up pretty soon. Well, that's in 2015. And that's it for October. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. It'll give you a sort of more rounded view of what I've said here. Also, if you want to know anything more about the outer slower moving planets, I update their position every month on my website. And that's it. I'll see you the next time.